In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace your windshield washer reservoir on a RAV4. It's located in the passenger front bumper. So now that we've raised it from underneath, I'm going to start at the driver's side fender well, under and go over. And you only have to undo this outer screw and this screw. So follow your bumper cover line, and those are the two screws, both on the passenger side and driver's side. 10mm socket. Pull those back out. And now I'll go to the passenger side and do the same two screws. Now we're working from the center over. So I took my two bolts out on both sides, and there's 4 center bolts holding the undercarriage of that bumper cover to this splash shield. You don't have to take that splash shield down. 10mm socket, and we'll take all 4 of these out. And now we can lower it. So you can see the top mount. There's 2 push pins in the center, then 2 mounting bolts on either side. Now we're going to take this push pin out with a little trim tool. I like to use the fork style. Pull it right up. Both sides. Let's get that right there. Now we have 10mm socket, and we're going to take driver's side 2 out first. Then we'll move over to the passenger side. I'm going to do the outer side first, and then the inner one, just in case I balance the weight. So before you pull that bumper cover off, you have to pull it out from the trim piece underneath here. There's a mounting bracket, and it just clips in. Both sides are the same, passenger driver side. I'm on the driver's side now, so I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to grab firmly down here and pull out, just like that. And then do the same to the passenger side. Work your way back to the center. So now we're ready to pull the bumper cover off, and what I do is I like to grab midway if I have a chance and hold it up on the top and just pull it out. Separate it from both sides. I'm going to start from the engine compartment and work my way down. We have to take this top off, and I'm just going to take this little body clip, pull it up with the trim tool, and then pull it out. Now we can actually just release that and pull it up. Set it aside. So now with the bumper off, you expose the rest of the reservoir, washer reservoir, and I'm going to disconnect the level sensor, which is right here. Pull that connector off. I'm going to see what other harnesses are attached to it. So I have my little trim tool here, and I'm going to remove that. And then there's one over here I do believe is attached. Pull this one up. Now we have no attachments other than the actual washer pump connector and the hose. But I'm going to dismount it from the vehicle first so I can get to those easier. We have a bolt over here, 10mm head, so it's a socket, 10mm, and up here, 10mm. And then the third one is inside the fender well. I'm just going to take a pry bar so you can see it. It's right here. You can take the whole fender well down if that's what you wish, but I have the tools that I can just pry that apart. I have a long extension with a 10mm socket on there, and we're going to get that one first. So I'm going to go right in there. I don't want to lose it, so I'm going to get a little magnet. Pull that out. 10mm socket on the top one. Let's take that one out. And then the last one down here. 10mm socket right there. Now you can see that jug wants to move. So now we're going to lift it right out, pull it out here, and you'll see where the hoses are connected right along the side here. So look, they have a color code here, white and blue. So I know that that white hose, or silver tape, whatever you want to say, goes to that furthest connector right there. And that's going to go in the top of the pump. I'm not going to take it off the pump. That's good to know. And then the blue hose runs along this route. Perfect. Now at this point, if you have fluid in there, which we don't because that's why we're changing it, ours is cracked, so we need to replace it. I would take a clean catch basin, and I would pop this drain hose right here and catch the fluid. Let's disconnect our connector, squeeze that tab and pull. And once again, keep the pattern knowing. You can take a picture if you need to, but the hose with the white piece of tape goes on the 12 o'clock, and the hose with the blue tape goes on the 6 o'clock. Now let's get a little screwdriver and we can take those hoses off. If you do have fluid in there, I would say take the bottom one off first, because if not, the fluid's going to push right up from gravity and make a mess everywhere. But I don't have any fluid, so there we go. Now we can take that washer reservoir right out. So now I'm going to replace the reservoir. I'm going to follow that line, the one with the blue tape, and that goes to the 6 o'clock exit on that pump. Push it all the way up. Then the white hose, white connector, goes on the 12 o'clock. Let's push that all the way down. Make sure it's seated. And I'm going to follow this. Attach it right there. Do the same to the white one, the one with the white connector on it. Goes right there. Let's put that pump connector on so we can reach it clearly. Line up the tabs, and you're just going to push it until it clicks. Like that. And now we can make room and line this all back up. So I'm going to mount this front one first, 10mm socket, and I'm not really tightening it because I want it to be able to move so I can line the other two up. Then I'll get to that top one. Just keeps it all sturdy, so when I try to get that inner one, it'll be a little bit easier. There we go. Now let's leave it loosey-goosey, and we'll do that inner one. So now prying that out, line up that spot. And now we're ready to tighten up the other two. And I'm going to stand this reservoir inward, like I don't want it to hang down too much. I want it to be more tilted in. And then we'll go to the bottom one. Good to go on that. Now we'll plug in. This is the level sensor, the indicator that tells you whether you're low on washer fluid. Click that in, follow the harness, find out where it sits, and plug it all in. All right, now we can lower it and put the top half on. So now we can attach the filler neck of that washer reservoir, bring it down, locate it, and then just firmly push it down on. Make sure it's all the way down. Looks like it is. And now we're just going to find the hole that it sits on up front here, put our plastic trim piece in. There's a little button that's going to go in that guide hole right there, so that it tells you the angle. So see how it sits like that? Now we want to turn it so that it sits just like that. Then you can push your push pin in, line up the pin, and put the front bumper back on. We're going to lift it up, make sure it clears everything. I like to put it right in the center first, the best I can. Make sure you get that fender flared on each side. So make sure it's lined up. You can see it right there, and then you just take your hand and pop it in place, just like that. And do the same to the passenger side. Now I'm going to start from the top and work my way from the center out, then we'll raise it up and put the rest of it on. 2 push pins right in the center. And then 4 bolts. They're 6mm by 1.0 pitch. $10mm socket, and let's snug those up. All right, now we can raise it up. Now that it's raised up, I'm going to put the 4 bolts in the front here where it's connected to that splash shield, and they're regular 6mm bolts. 10mm socket. Just put them all in straight across. last one underneath here. And it's the same procedure on the passenger side. When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.